Hey y'all, it's Reset Sunday, so y'all know what we're about to do. We about to reset, okay? That is what we're doing. We're resetting the week. So, as some of y'all may know or may not know, we had a BU photo shoot yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. Woo woo, raise the roof for the BU photo shoot. Yes, it was real good. I totally enjoyed myself. We laughed, we sang, we had good. Well, did we sing? I was singing along to the songs. I don't know about y'all. We twerked, we danced, so we had a good time. Okay, lots of body rolls was going on. So we had a really, really, really good time. Yes, Chandra, body roll. We had a really, really good time. Faces got beat. Shout out to Rudy. His information is RFP underscore artistry on Instagram if you want to follow him or book him for future events. And we also had our photography done by D White. His name is Derek, but his information on Instagram is D underscore White, WHYTE, if I'm not mistaken. And I can definitely confirm all of that stuff. But he is a professional photographer. He has photographed everybody from our Vice President, Kamala Harris, all the way to Queen Naja, singer, R&B singer. He's done a lot of work in the Atlanta area. So he's super, super professional. So these pictures are going to come back bombdiggity.com. No worries about that. I'm not worried. But anyway, it was great. It was all about self-love. It was just a time for us to celebrate who we are as women, all body shapes, sizes, colors, complexions, whatever. We definitely want to celebrate who we are. So I'm so thankful that you all were able to attend. Hate that everybody couldn't make it, but for those who were there, thank you so much for attending. We're about to get this thing going though at Reset Sunday. First of all, how has everybody been doing with their goals? Y'all know we do every week, we check in on our goals. Are we accomplishing our goals? Are we not accomplishing our goals? Are there any setbacks? Are we feeling good? Y'all talk to me, let me know what is going on with you. Are we good? You can come off mute or you can drop it in the chat, whatever you feel like.
So I did prepare. Uh, it was quite interesting because it didn't agree with me.
Okay.
Food had no taste,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, so I did try. I put it together. I followed the directions,
Mhm. Okay.
but hey, I will go back to the drawing board this week. So I
Okay.
did do it. It just didn't work.
So it didn't have any flavor. Let's talk about that. What was going on? Did you not season it? I mean, what happened?
Um, I I'm a person that follows everything to the T, so
Okay.
the inexperienceness probably definitely came out, and
Okay.
not being familiar with being in the kitchen that way, I'm learning that you're supposed to taste your things while you're preparing it. Did not happen.
Yeah. I mean, and then you'll
I'm
get to that point when you don't have to taste it. But if you are new to the kitchen game, then yeah. And I still consider myself being new to the kitchen game. I've been cooking for a while, but I'm still new because I'm always trying to try something new. So everything is new to me sometimes. So yeah, give it another shot. Will you give it another shot? Okay.
yeah. I did talk to our resident chef, and I
Hey,
I
Shamika.
talked to her yesterday,
Yeah.
and oh Lord, I'm a little ashy. And I do have another friend that can help. So yeah, I'm gonna be calling on as many as I can, and I'm gonna try it again, and I will hope that it will taste a little bit better. And when it starts tasting better, hopefully it look presentable. It just
It just won't there. Well, that's
so
good. Lean on
so I
Shamika.
did do it. I did accomplish the goal. It just did not work.
It just well, that's good. So it was kind of like a part and part. We definitely accomplished the goal, but the taste wasn't there. And we definitely want to enjoy our food. That is important. Just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that you are not supposed to enjoy your food. Or just because you're eating um with what is supposed to be aligned for you or what's recommended for you doesn't mean that it has to be god awfully disgusting or just tasteless. I'm a foodie. I like to think of myself as a foodie. I love, 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 love food. Okay. Love food. Absolutely do. So there's nothing worse than whenever you dry out your food or the flavor ain't there or it just ain't giving you, it's just not that big bang. It's just, ugh, it's terrible. But we're going to fix it. We're going to tweak it. Definitely rely on your community so that you can make those tweaks the way that you need to make those tweaks and then keep on giving it a shot. But I'm glad that you at least tried. So good job. Good job. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody accomplish?
I know
I
for
did
me.
hit my water.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
My bad. Go ahead, see.
Oh, my bad. I know for me, I've fallen off for a while, and I've been trying to get back into things, especially with work schedule changing and everything. But yesterday for me was kind of that push to get back in the right direction. It gave me that spark. It gave me that excitement. Just being around everyone in that energy, and then hearing that at some point there might be another one. I'm like, okay, yes, I'm ready. What do I need to do so I can be different for the next one? So for me, I've been off. I can't even lie. I haven't had it together for a minute, but yesterday was a spark for me. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm good now. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, that's good. I'm goal oriented. I do quite a few photo shoots a year for just my businesses in general. So there's always something for me to prepare for. And where I'm relating this to you, it's like whenever you say, okay, I'm ready for the next one, sometimes you need an event to kind of like get you motivated to do something about. I mean, because even though my goal is to always just maintain, that's just a personal goal for me, maintain. I'm not necessarily trying to lose. For a while, I was trying to gain. I gained that weight that I needed for myself, but now I'm just maintaining. But then, I hear photo shoot, video shoot. I'm like, well, let me get down and do some fire hydrants and put my little butt up and let me do some crunches real quick, trying to get on point. And y'all know for the past couple of weeks, we've been preparing for this photo shoot. We've been saying, hey, it's coming up. This is how you need to be prepared. Last week, we talked about how you need to eat every single day. We talked about the gallons, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. After Wednesday, cut it off. We talked about all these different little things, little tips, just to kind of get you prepared for that one event. But on average, I know for me, if I have something coming up, like I'll have another thing coming up in March 13th, I got something else coming up. So I know that I only have a couple of days where I can just I'm having my coffee and I am enjoying my coffee. Okay. I am enjoying it right now. But I know last week I couldn't be on that coffee like that. I just couldn't do it because I was just going to be standing next to y'all bloating and people was going to say, well, who's the trainer in the pics? Because we can't tell. And I didn't want to embarrass myself. I didn't want to embarrass y'all. So I knew I had to get myself together. Okay. But there will be another photo shoot, just so that you all know. The next one will be an outdoor shoot. It will be an outdoor shoot. And I'm getting some creative things about that one too. So I can't wait for y'all to see what we're going to do with this one. So I'm really, really excited. But good for getting that spark back in there. Sometimes we need it. So you're not alone with that. And just get ready, get on it. I'm happy for you, T, honey. You came out that shell yesterday. Baby girl turned around and said, well, I want to go on back for some more. What? Okay. We had to about beg you to come there, honey. Came there, got a little face beat, and didn't want to stop shooting. I said, yeah.
It was. I was proud of me. I didn't think about anything. I didn't look in the mirror and see something I didn't like. I was just having fun and feeding off of everyone's energy and my own and just enjoying the moment. So I definitely appreciate it.
That's what self-love is all about. Loving on yourself. You look absolutely beautiful. Absolutely.
Thank you. So did everyone else. Thank y'all.
Baby. Chandra, you was about to say something. What was the goal? Did you accomplish your goals this week?
I did. I got my water up. So, child, that one day I was just like, whoo, honey. I'm glad I'm at the house because I go to the bathroom one more time.
Oh,
But no, I mean, I don't know why it was so hard. I guess because being back at work, because when I'm at home, it wasn't hard for me to hit my gallon and keep up with it. It's like now I have to be more conscious of how much I'm drinking and make sure, like I know I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take 4 bottles to work and I'm gonna knock those 4 bottles out. And then when I get home, I'll focus on those last 3 because I know I got to work out. So I know I'm gonna kill a bottle when I do that. And then, work on getting the last 2 with my meal or whatever. So that's kind of how I had to do it this week. Except for that one day that we were able to stay at home. That was the day that I really was like, okay, I'm doing 30 ounces and then in a couple of hours I'm gonna do another 30. I was doing it like that. But I was more like aware of trying to get it. I think I only maybe missed one of those. I think it was 3 days we had to do a gallon. I
yeah.
think I did close to a gallon on that 3rd day. I think I missed the full gallon, but the rest of the days after that, I did more than a half a gallon. So I was just trying to be conscious of what I was doing and getting that water in. So I've been doing good today. I did like 50 ounces before 12. So
Good.
just trying to stay on top of it.
Did you notice a change in your body from a different hydration schedule this week versus what you've been doing before? Did you notice any changes or did you about feel the same?
Um, I guess because I made it an effort of not drinking nothing but water. So I'm used to getting the water in. I try to do like 5 or more bottles. I did feel better this week though. I didn't feel like the week before I felt kind of bloated. And I think this is just because my cycle was about to start and I knew it was gonna be rough because of how my face was breaking out and all of that. But I think with me getting that more water in this week and having that issue, I didn't cramp. Well, I hadn't been cramping bad, but I could tell a difference with my cycle and I wasn't as um frustrated as I usually am when I'm don't have those bad cycles like that. So I think that hydration helped that out too.
It helps in more ways. You mentioned cycle. Last week was cycle week for me. Still currently TMI, sorry, but that was another reason why I really had to be on point with my water as well because whenever and everybody's cycle is different. Everybody's cycle is different. I don't know what your battles are, but if yours are anything like mine, then you know that all it takes is one little potato chip and all of a sudden you 6 months pregnant. So I know that I had to make sure that I stayed flushed, hydrated. I had to get my rest the entire week. So even though I like to think that I get a lot of water in, that cycle week is just always different. And I think, as you continue to mature or age, those cycles change. And I know I'm in that transition where every month is something different. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next month, but I'm going to be here. I don't know. Like, I have no idea what the cycle is going to bring. So at least you were able to stay hydrated and also continue to have yourself flushed. And you did recognize little things about it, like, oh, okay, I'm not as stressed or, I'm not as bloated or what have you. That's good. We'll take any win we can, but those cycle weeks are always very tough. I mean, from the most elite athlete to everyday folks like myself. I mean, cycle weeks are very, very challenging. You sometimes never know what you're going to get. So at least you were able to come over. I couldn't tell you was on your cycle. So you look great. Fantastic. Anybody else care to share? Did you accomplish a goal last week or your goal? Any goal?
Well, my struggle with water is the struggle with being back at work because I don't want to be in that bathroom all the time. And I've slacked off my water since I've been back at work. And I have noticed the difference in my body by not drinking enough water.
What have you noticed about it? The changes that you've noticed about not drinking enough?
The water was kind of helping me with I'm not snacking at work, but I can tell I was more satisfied when I drink more water throughout the day. And I've always struggled with acne anyway, and it's been under control, but I've noticed now I'm getting older and not drinking enough water. My skin is very dry. My lips stay very dry now. And I have chapstick everywhere. I have chapstick at work. I have it in my car. I have it in my purse. I mean, I've always suffered with dry lips, but I know now I can tell my water intake. My lips tell me about my water intake. When I wake up and it's like snap, crackling, popping, I know the day before I didn't drink enough water.
That's that key. That day before. You and I have similar issues. I am currently in that state of, well, these past couple of years, and I think a lot of y'all know this about me, that I've struggled with acne. I think even some of y'all have seen me when my skin has been at its worst. I don't know, Chandra, Talea, do y'all recall my skin just being like, whoa? I mean, and I'm not, it's no shade to me, but do y'all recall that moment where it was just like really blotchy, always something going on? Do y'all remember me talking about that, or even remember seeing me at that time?
That's why I
Yeah,
called you
sometimes.
when I had that, when I had my breakout this week, because I knew that was something that you had dealt with before. So I was like, let me call Reagan, because she probably know what I can do, or try to figure out why I'm having this breakout on my jawline. And yeah, because I remember, and I remember your videos too.
Yes,
You were doing those different skin regimens.
it was a mess. You said you remember too, Talea? It was a time. My point is, it was a time, and I didn't grow up with acne. I didn't have those issues as a teenager going through puberty, anything like that. But as an adult, it hit me hard. I went through a real big hormonal change, and it just hit me like nobody's business. And it was like I dealt with it probably for a good year. I want to say pre-pandemic, like want to say maybe 2019. That was probably like my first time actually finding relief after dealing with for like 3 years at that point in time. And I finally figured out what it was. But amongst other things that I had in my diet, and I've always eaten very healthy, but amongst other things in my diet, one of the things that was key was water. I mean, it just was. It wasn't the cure, but it was definitely the key, because it's very hard to work through other issues if your skin is not hydrated. And I think I said it maybe last week or the week before last. Within the past 2 weeks, I was saying your largest organ that you have is your skin. I mean, so if you don't get that water some way, somehow, then your body's going to pull from other organs to make sure that it is hydrated as best as it can. And that's just the way the body works. So I know you don't want to be in that bathroom. I know you don't want to be in that bathroom, but you might have to get your gloves. You might have to get your wipes. You might have to get your aerosol sprays and get busy. Go in with a hazmat suit. And I don't know what you gonna have.
I mean, when I walk in and when I put my stuff down, I have my Lysol, like I keep some in my office. I have it in my book bag, and I spray down the knobs, and I go in the bathroom and I Lysol it down. But the building is old, so I don't care how much cleaning you do.
It's old.
When the building is old and that damn toilet is as old as the building, and it's not like I'm going and sitting on or anything like that. It's a mind thing for me. It's like I want to get in and get out as quick as possible. But then when I'm constantly drinking and I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I drink two of my 32-ounce bottles and I bring extra water bottles, if I'm drink all of this, I know I'm running back and forth to the bathroom. And the thing about it is it's a community restroom. So you got people from all over the building coming down because it's a private bathroom. So it locks the door. You're not going into, and it's not other stalls in there. So it's just the one seat, the one sink. And it's just continually, then you going in and out after other people. And, I still come in and spray when I go in and spray when I come out. But that's a lot to do just to go to use the bathroom. But I know it's a sacrifice I have to make since I am drying out. And and it dries, and then I start peeling
Right in there.
right in here. But unlike you went the natural route for your acne. I've been suffering from acne since I was like 11 or 12, and being light skinned with big red bumps.
It ain't it.
With puffs coming up. So my sister-in-law is a dermatologist, and I just had to do the Accutane route for like 9 months. And it has killed any flare-ups or anything. So these past 3 years for me has been the best as far as my face. But because of that, like I still don't post a lot of pictures or anything, but because I'm still the girl with acne with the bumps in her face.
Oh. And
the keratosis on her arms for dry skin but whatever. But I will make that sacrifice or start wearing some Depends or something to increase their water.
Okay, John, that is too much. Please not go in there with no Depends. You not need no Depends. Make that sacrifice. Like, you really definitely make that sacrifice. I mean, it is what it is. It's the lifestyle that you live. But another thing that you can do is also incorporate more hydrating fruits and vegetables into your diet. And you can also push your hydration schedule. So instead of getting started so early in the morning, you know how I say, hey, make sure y'all have like a glass of water in the morning or something. You can still have your glass of water in the morning, but maybe for the first couple hours of your day, you just focus on those hydrating fruits. And then closer towards the end of the day, that's whenever you start pumping your gallon down. Push your hydration. That might be an option for you to do. And by the time everything gets kicking, going, or whatever on a more consistent basis, then that'll be towards the end of your day. So you might have to just use that restroom once or twice, opposed to 3 or 4 times or what have you. So just push your hydration schedule, push it out. Okay. Anybody else before we get into it? Get into it. All right. So here we go. I dropped a question in there for you guys to say what your goal is for this week. T, you said you want to consume more fruits and vegetables. Okay. Taz, continue to meal prep for work. Good. Tangie, drink more water, planning snacks. We're going to get into snacks today. We're actually going to have a conversation about that. Shamika, breakfast meal prep 5 workout days, walking at work at least 2 days, and water. Okay, cool. And if anybody else want to drop y'all's in there too, meal prep, a lot about meal prep. More water, meal prep. Cool. So one thing that I noticed over the this past month, and I try to take notes based on the conversations that we're having and also the conversations that we're having in our check-ins, our weekly check-ins. One of the things that I just kept hearing, or a question I kept hearing about, were examples for on-the-go snacks. A lot of us went back to work this past month and was just like, what can we do to have some snacks that are going to work very well with what it is that we're trying to do ultimately, whether that's lose weight, gain weight, just be healthy, whatever your ultimate goal is, you're just trying to make the best decision possible. So I pulled up our nutrition calendar and clicked on some of the links and whatnot about the low sodium snacks. And then I said, well, no, let's get to the actual question. Let's actually get to the question of, well, these packaged items and what do we need to go to? And what I did was I pulled some of the snacks that I purchased for our photo shoot yesterday. And I pulled some of the other items that we had in our closet too, in our pantry. And I wanted to go over, when you're meal prepping or when you're prepping up your snacks and you're saying, well, I just need something on the go. I have a hairstylist. She's not on here, but this was one of her questions for the past week. She's like, I'm in the hair salon all day. And even my teachers can probably relate to this. I'm in the hair salon all day. I don't have time to go over here, there, everywhere. It's also a pandemic. I'm not trying to bust wide open my little stuff and then get to eating right there in front of my clients. It's a super enclosed space, mask environment. I don't have time, and I don't want to eat over, the culture of her salon is she's just not like that. She just doesn't want to eat. So she doesn't want to eat like, those foods that she'll have to heat up and all the other good stuff. So I said, well, this is what we're going to do. Let's talk about some different snacks that we probably already have, or some packaged items that we already have in our homes. And whenever it comes to meal prepping and making our foods, a lot of the times we're avoiding some things, but sometimes I don't think we understand why we're avoiding them or if we should avoid them or not. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start out with the snacks that I pulled out yesterday. And I got you guys the Nature Valley fruit and nut bars. I'm just read them off because we're going to go into reading the labels. The Belvita soft baked chips. That was the banana bread one. I just tried that for the first time this morning. It was actually really tasty, but it was sweet. So I'm going to get on myself for that. And then the Belvita cinnamon brown sugar bites too. So I'm going to start with these, but I have rice. I have tuna, applesauce, like, you know, trail mix, oatmeal, and I even pulled out some pasta. So nutrition facts and labels. Everybody, every time you have a packaged item, whatever it is, it has its nutrition facts. The very first thing that I always encourage everybody to look at are the ingredients, okay? So whenever you're thinking about, okay, what is something that I can grab and I can have at my desk? Something simple I can just grab. It's not something I eat every single day, but it does have a decent shelf life on it. I can pick it up and it won't be too crazy one way or the other. So one thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is to start at the ingredients. Now, you want to stay below 5 ingredients if you can. And you see this ingredients list, all these words right here. Now, you know there's way more than 5 ingredients, okay? But just while you're in the grocery store, you want to stay below 5. If it has 6 or 7, okay, fine. But you want to stay as small as possible with the ingredients list. You don't want a laundry list of things that you're eating, like you're putting into your body for your body to try to process and figure it out. Think about a definition. If you're looking at the definition, you don't want this long, elongated definition of something, or you want to get to the point. Most of the time when you're looking up something, if you don't know the word, you're going to want to get to the point. It's the same thing with the food that you're eating, okay? So your ingredients list. Now, if it has a lot of ingredients in it, like this one does, the second thing I check for is, can you read everything on that list? And what I did while I was getting it for you guys, I said, okay, I know what that is. I know what that is. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I sat there and I was in the middle of the little thing. Google, a little Publix man said, baby, do you need some help? I don't. I got it. Google what I didn't understand. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's just another word for sugar. Oh, okay. I see how y'all try to do that. All right, fine. The third thing that I check is for the allergens. And Jada, you might be able to relate to this part because anytime you have skin issues, some things you want to refrain from are often in those may contain lists right there underneath the ingredients. So those are the 3 things that I check for. Now, then I go into the basic nutrition facts here, the basic nutrition facts. So a lot of you have probably already read labels before and you're like, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm reading. I know what I'm looking for. This is where it gets even more defined for yourself. What I want you to do is look on your MyFitnessPal, pull up your MyFitnessPal, because this is where all of this matters and all of this relates. So what you can do ahead of time is go ahead and scan the item. If it's a packaged food, go ahead and scan it so it can go ahead and filter into your MyFitnessPal and say, hey, Reagan, this is a good food for you. Or, hey, Reagan, this is going to send you over 10 grams in sugar. This is great for fats. This is a good fat. Or this is awesome in protein. It'll give you those notes that it's pulling from the item that you put into it. So that is another thing that I would do if I were y'all. While you have these packaged foods, scan it, let it do all the crazy work for you. If you're in a situation where you're like, well, I'm not really doing all that. I'm not scanning it right now. I just need to get to the point. What am I looking for? A lot of the times with packaged items, we don't pay attention to the serving size. The serving size. That is very important. With your packaged foods, you see that it has 12 servings per container, talking about these Nature Valley fruit and nut bars. It has 12 servings per container. 1 bar is 1 serving. So that means in this 1 bar, if I eat one of these bars, it's going to be 150 calories. 150 calories is not bad. Another thing you can do is look at your MyFitnessPal and say, okay, well, I have 1,500 calories for the day. This is 150 calories. I'm gonna have this for a little on the go snack. Doesn't sound bad, right? So then you get into the fat. 4.5 grams of fat, saturated 0.5 grams, trans fat. Okay, so it's all right in fat. Do we need a lot of saturated fats in our diet? No, we really don't. But do we need fat in our diet? Yeah. And are we going to have it in our diet? Absolutely. So again, because it has like the trans fat in there, I probably wouldn't gravitate towards this all the time. But I also know that it's not horrible. It's not just god awfully horrible where I can't consume something like this. It's okay. So cholesterol, none, sodium, 65 milligrams. I think I told y'all the other day, whenever you're having packaged foods, you want to be careful, make sure that it's not over 100 milligrams in sodium, okay? This one is 65 milligrams of sodium. So sodium is not bad. And this would be something good for a low sodium Saturday type of snack if you're on the go, out and about. You could have this in your purse and be just fine. Total carbohydrates, 25 grams of carbs. So on average, per meal, if you look at your MyFitnessPal at the end, if you turn it sideways, it'll break down everything that you're putting into your body and how many grams of carbohydrates you should have for the day. 25 grams of carbs is pretty average. Anywhere from 25 to like 30 grams of carbs for a meal is pretty average. So it's not super bad on the carbs. But again, I would just be very careful with it. And you're pulling these carbs from dietary fiber, which is 2 grams, not bad. And total sugars, 8 grams. Now, y'all know, I don't want y'all going over 8 grams of sugar in your snacks, in your meals. So again, this is still not a bad option. And then protein, 3 grams. I wouldn't use this for protein. I would not use this for protein at all. I'm only pulling 3 grams for protein. So if I'm saying, hey, you guys, take up your protein, I wouldn't gravitate towards a bar like this. This is something for like a saving grace. It's the 9th hour. It's the last minute. Grab it, go, move on. But I wouldn't gravitate towards something like this all of the time. This is just kind of like a last minute, not a bad option thing for you. Okay. And if none of this makes any sense, definitely let me know, but be very careful with these bars and treat your protein bars the same way that we just ran through all of the nutrition facts right here. You want to treat your protein bars the exact same way, because 9 times out of 10, the only difference that you're going to see, that sugar might just be a little bit higher. The protein is definitely going to be higher. Carbs will be moderate. Sodium might be moderate. And that ingredient list 9 times out of 10 is probably going to be a little bit longer than this one. Okay. So just be very careful with the protein bars, and also know if you are going to eat some of these packaged foods, know when to eat them. Like I said, something like this is an on the go, a last minute, it's in your purse, it's at your desk, oh, I don't have anything else, let me make sure that I grab something. Instead of grabbing a Snickers bar, I can grab this Nature Valley bar. This is your real hungry while wait, not the Snickers, okay? I brought in the Belvita bites. Did y'all catch that? Okay. I brought in the Belvita bites because we talked about breakfast a lot. Hey, Reagan, I don't like eating in the morning. I'm not a morning person. All the other stuff. Okay, fine. But instead of going and getting you a hot ham and cheese biscuit from your local Hardee's, McDonald's, or wherever, I don't know where people get those from. I'm just making up some stuff. But instead of going to grab those or foregoing a meal, and if you're like, I just don't want to cook, I'm not there. This week is a very busy week for me, Reagan. What is something that I can do? What's something that I can have 9th hour? I can probably cook Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday is going to be a challenge. What is something that I can have? I like the breakfast Belvita bites. I usually do, not the bites, but I usually do one of the hard bars. I don't know if y'all had those before, but anytime that I would do my training camps, and for some of y'all who don't know, in the summer, I usually do summer training camps for cheerleaders and whatnot. And so in the morning, we didn't want any greasy items on our stomachs like that, but we knew we needed something. So we would get Belvita products just to kind of have maybe 1 or 2 days out of like a 5-day week, just to kind of switch it up. It does contain wheat and soy. So if you have any allergens towards wheat or soy, I wouldn't suggest doing something like this. Again, when you look at the ingredients list, it's a lot longer than what I would prefer. So again, this is just something where last minute you grab it and you go. You don't rely on it. This is not your everyday thing. This is not your every week thing. This is just something every now and then when you want to switch it up, or it's a last minute grab and go, boom, you got something. When you turn into the nutrition facts, again, one pack of the little biscuits. Let me pull out the little package. It contains about little 46 things in there, okay? 46 little bites. One of these packages is a serving. So this is a little bit higher than the other nature bar. This is 230 calories, okay? 230 calories, you're pulling 8 grams for fat. Saturated fat, about the same as the last 1.5. Cholesterol, none. Sodium, 105 milligrams. Total carbohydrates, definitely higher, 37 grams of carbs. Dietary fiber, 3. Total sugars, 10. So when you're having, and then protein, 4. So again, comparing these two to each other, this is probably the better pick than something like this is. But then again, these are not everyday things. It's a nice grab. It's a nice go. It's switch it up, pull it, and keep it moving. But let me tell you why it's not an everyday thing for you. The carbohydrates are on the high side. So again, if this is something in the morning, cool. If you got this in the evening, this ain't gonna process in your body the same way. It's not. It's actually going to work against you. So if you had this in the beginning of the day, it's a last minute thing. It's in the car. You got it. It's not super, super bad. It's not an everyday thing. You can get by with it, but it's in the beginning of your day. So your body's going to utilize that, and it's going to burn a lot quicker than if you were to eat it at night and you chilling on the couch with your boo thing. That ain't going to work. Okay. The added sugars are a little bit high for me. I don't really like a lot of added sugars, but then again, it's the time of day that I'm having these that I'm like, okay, I'll give myself that pass. It's going to be okay. Again, I was using these for training camp. So as soon as we hit the pavement, we going, and we're going for hours at a time. This right here would be fine. But if you going to work and you just sitting in your car and you don't be at your desk all day, you ain't got to walk up no stairs, you ain't got to walk back and forth here, there, everywhere, you might want to half the pack and get you something for real, okay? But again, another last minute thing. And the reason why it was kind of okay for yesterday, again, we snacking, we walking around, we moving. Nobody was ever just kind of just sitting there at one point in time. We was all, the energy was up. We moving around, we looking around, we in the, we taking photos. So we needed some energy. So it wasn't a bad grab at all. Not a bad grab, just not the best grab. Okay. But you can get by with it. And y'all feel free to chime in and ask questions if you want. This time is for you. I'm just going through some other examples. Okay. These are relatively the same. This one was a little bit less. Between the two, between the bites and the soft bake, these will probably be better. Reason why they would be better, they're lower in carbs, lower in sodium. They're a little bit higher in sodium, but if you have like a sodium issue, then I would say none of these are for you. But just a little bit higher in sodium. Fat, about the same. Sugar is about the same. Protein, about the same. It's 200 calories versus this one that was 230 calories. One pack, one biscuit. That is what this is. I would honestly use this as a nice sweet treat instead of going to Starbucks and getting that banana nut bread that they have with that coffee. I would grab this instead. Okay. I definitely would grab this opposed to grabbing that Starbucks banana nut bread coffee. I mean, banana nut bread. Banana nut bread that they serve there and they toast it and it tastes real good. Yeah. Grab this instead. Okay. So, grab and go snacks, wouldn't rely on them forever. Even if you break them up and just kind of like pop them in your mouth every now and then, if you just want something sweet, not a bad grab, but you definitely don't want to abuse your packaged items. Do not abuse your packaged items. Now, this right here, I'll take something like this. I actually take something like this every day. If you needed like a nice different snack, I wouldn't rely on it for protein. And let me tell you why. So it's a nice little trail mix. Y'all know when we're talking about different things that you can eat, different things that you can prepare on your own. A lot of the times I prepare my own trail mix. But then again, if I'm on the go, I'm moving, I don't have time to get my little Ziploc bag, put a little scoop of this. I just didn't prepare. It was just one of those weeks I did not prepare. Boom. These are not bad options for you. They're already prepackaged for you in the correct serving size so that you're not abusing your snacks. You want to be very careful to not abuse your snacks. So one of those packages is a serving. You pull 140 calories from this serving. Again, look back at your MyFitnessPal and say, what do my snacks need to be about? Or when you're putting this in, how much do I have left or remaining for the day? What it has in it is the ingredients list: dried cranberries, let me see, a little sunflower oil, almonds, cashews, pressed sunflower oil, and then sea salt. I literally can read everything up here. The ingredients list is very short. It contains nuts. So if you're allergic to nuts, don't get this. This is a safe bet. So far, we got 3 checks on the board. Then we get into the details. 30 milligrams of sodium, not a bad option. Cholesterol, none. Trans fat, none. Saturated fat, 1. Okay, a little fat from those, and you're pulling that from those nuts. I guarantee you're probably pulling that just from the nuts, but still, it's not bad. Protein, you're getting 3. 10 grams of sugar, dietary fiber, 2 grams, total carbohydrates is 14 grams. You're pulling that sweetness from those dried cranberries in there. And then you have, your total carbohydrates is 14 grams. Nowhere near as high as 37 or 25. It's extremely low. So this is a nice little transitional for my teachers out there. If you just need a little pop it open, a bop, bop, bop in your mouth real quick, chew on it real good, get you a little burst of energy, something that's going to carry you over to that next class before you have a major lunch or a major meal. This is not a bad option at all. I would actually allow these every single day. This is a safe bet. So you want to keep you some trail mix always around because it has everything in it. You know exactly what you're putting into your body. You don't have to question anything. You know that you're not going to go super crazy on carbs. It's going to give you a little protein and you're not relying on it for protein, but it's going to get you. It's like one of those transitional last minute grab and goes. Okay. Questions so far, because I feel like I'm just rolling. Questions. Because I'm going to keep going. All right. Applesauce. Anybody like applesauce? You can put in the chat if you like applesauce. Yes, no, sort of, kind of, maybe, not really. I'm an applesauce person. I like applesauce and pretzels. That's my thing. I like apple juice and pretzels. That is my thing. Whenever I'm traveling, well, pre-COVID, I would love to get the little pretzels. Please bring me some apple juice, ma'am. They would be like, do you have a toddler somewhere? No, I just like it. It's good. I don't know. It's just something about the blend. But applesauce. Yesterday, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was thinking of like, what are some other things that we could kind of like have and just have it accessible to us, but applesauce, and still be relatively healthy, but just kind of switch it up a little bit. Applesauce is not bad. Only thing you got to watch out with applesauce is those added sugars, how much you sweeten your applesauce. Let's get into the label. Ingredients. Apple, sugar, water, cinnamon. Basic, straight and to the point. Not bad. So you're going to have some added sugar in there because it already told you in the ingredients. It has sugar. It has sugar, okay? It didn't even try to lie and hide. That's great. I like honesty. You're going to pull 80 calories from this 1 cup. 1 cup is about 4 ounces. So again, this is something, a nice little transitional something. You're not going to get full off no applesauce, but if you have it, it's 9th hour, you kind of want something sweet because a lot of y'all have asked, well, what's something sweet? How can I switch it up? Applesauce will be really good if you like applesauce. But you're not really pulling anything from sodium, cholesterol, trans fat, saturated fat, total fat. None of that's in there. But when you get to those carbohydrates, 19 grams of carbohydrates. Total sugars, 15 grams of sugar. It's all sugar. 1 in dietary fiber. Protein, none. So this right here is sugar. That's it. I treat this puppy like dessert. Okay. You got it, you eat it, you're gone. Keep it in the early part of your day if you're going to have it. And that's that. Sometimes instead of using jelly, I put applesauce on my toast instead because I know I'm going to get that sweet that I'm looking for. Okay. So I wouldn't abuse something like this, having it 24/7, 365. But if you want something sweet, switch it up a little bit. Applesauce will be a good alternative for you. And you can always make it. You can always make it. Who likes rice? Who likes rice? Who's been avoiding rice?
Me,
Who said me?
Angie.
And oh, Tangi, you've been avoiding rice. Okay. Tell me why you've been avoiding rice, Tangi. Do tell.
I know I used to do before I used to do Weight Watchers. And so the rice was always a lot of points. And so I would avoid getting it because it was so many points.
Okay. And that makes sense because it's going to eat your points up and you like, well, dang, what else can I eat? You know?
Right.
Points.
But you can do brown rice though. That's healthier.
Well, we're gonna get into the facts. Don't you worry. Because I got
But
both.
even though when I put in brown rice, they still was the same amount of points.
It's still points, right? Because they use a point system, Miss Terry.
Okay.
It's all about a point system. So and Taz, let me address your question before I move on into this rice because I definitely want to address the rice. What is your input about dried fruit and nut mix? I'm cool with it. I wouldn't, let me zoom in on, hold that up again. Turn on the back. I'm gonna read that label. Zoom in. Let's get into the label. Virtual readings. You gonna take a picture? Okay, that's cool. Send that to me. But my input without seeing my blind input about it, you know, when you got dried fruit in there, when you have dried fruit in your trail mix, you already know that's your sugar right there. That's your sugar. So what I do when I make my own trail mix, because I love dark chocolate. I absolutely love dark chocolate. I already know 16 little morsels, that's a serving size. So I make sure I put half of that in my trail mix because I love dried fruit. I love dried cranberries. So again, I put half of that and then I put my nuts. And that's just like my little sweet, it's my grab and go. I pop it in my mouth and I move on with my life. But I know because both of those are added sugars, I'm not pulling the full serving of the dried fruit and the full serving of the chocolate and then putting it with I'm asking for a mess. I'm asking to look like I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm asking for that because I know that's what it's going to happen. Too much sugar into my diet. I'm asking for, the discomfort. If you're someone who like me, if I have too much sugar in my diet, it's going to throw my woo-ha off. I don't like my woo-ha be off. I don't like to be off. I do not want no problems at all. So I make sure I really watch my sugar, but I love, love, love chocolate, but I also know that I have to really watch on my input from sugar. But definitely send me that picture, Taz, and I'll get there. Girl, I almost bumped you out of the thing. My bad. Let me remove that pen. Girl, my bad. Rosalind says she prefers cauliflower rice. I don't know if y'all tried that cauliflower rice at Chipotle yet. That right there, they did not disappoint. I tried that and I said, oh wow, that's not bad at all. If you're anything like me, you can't, I don't know how to make cauliflower rice. I'm not good at it. I might need to ask you, Shamika, for some tips or ideas, but I like cauliflower rice. I just cannot make cauliflower rice. And then again, my goals are to maintain. So there are times where I do need to make sure I cycle in some good carbohydrate alternatives. If you're someone who has to watch your GI or your glycemic index, then you may refrain from consuming a lot of carbohydrates or a lot of rice anyway, because it's so high. It has a higher glycemic index than other carbohydrates do. So let's get into it. I'm also going to pull out my pasta. I'm going to pull my pasta too, but let's start with rice because I want you all to understand how to eat rice, not to refrain from eating rice, because rice does not have to be bad, but you have to understand how to pair it and you have to understand when to consume it and how much of it you should be consuming. So again, look at your MyFitnessPal first and say, hey, how many carbs do I have out of the week, left of the day? If it might be 100, it might say you have 20. If you're going over in carbs, you need to definitely erase rice from your mind until you get some control. But also think about the carbs that you are consuming in your diet and learn how to eat them. So let's go there. I have some Jasmine bowl in the bag rice, and I have some instant brown rice right here. Okay. We are not a heavy, well, yes, we are. Angelo loves rice. I'm not crazy about rice. I didn't really grow up with rice, but when we did, have it with some gravy, and that was that. But as an adult, when I eat it, I enjoy it, but I don't have to. So what we say, okay, I look at my rice. I'm gonna look at the Jasmine first, and I'm just gonna do a compare, okay? And Miss Terry, you'll be able to discern if one is better or the other for you based off your own goals. So with the Jasmine rice, the serving size is 1/4 of a cup. It's not a whole cup. It's 1/4 of a cup. And is that cooked or uncooked? I'm going to assume cooked. No. I'm going to assume non-cooked is 1/4 of a cup. Why would I assume that? Lies. 1/4 of a cup cooked. After it's cooked, after it's all said and done, it's swelled up. 1/4 of a cup is what the serving size is for here. And then the serving size, okay, this one is dry. Dry rice makes about 1 cup cooked. So serving size, 1/2 of a cup. So 1/2 of this, and after you cook it, it's gonna make a full cup. All right. So let's get into it. Brown rice, if you're looking at 1 cup of brown rice after it's cooked, it's 180 calories. If you're looking at, and I'm like, you know what, let's just keep it the same. If I'm looking at 1/4 a cup, and let's just assume after it's cooked, it's 1 cup of rice is 160. Jasmine's 160, brown is 180. So you might say, oh, that's high in calories. Oh, child, I got to watch out for that. Well, let's go a little bit deeper. You have trans fat on your brown rice. 1.5 grams of fat. There's no saturated fat. There's no trans fat. There's no cholesterol. There's no sodium. But total carbohydrate is 39 grams. There's no sugar. Dietary fiber is 2. Okay. Protein is 4. That's all for brown rice. Again, 180 calories, and you're pulling 39 grams from carbohydrates alone. All right. And that's off of 1 cup. 1 cup. Now you get to your Jasmine rice. Your Jasmine rice reads 160 calories, no fat, no saturated, no trans fat, no cholesterol, no sodium, but then it's 36 grams of carbohydrates, no dietary fiber, no sugars, and 3 grams of protein. So in your best opinion, which one would you choose based off of the reading? Again, a cup of here and a cup of here. A cup of brown, 180 calories. A cup of Jasmine, 160. Total carbohydrates in brown, 39, but you do get 2 grams of dietary fiber. In Jasmine rice, the total carbohydrates is 36 grams, no dietary fibers at all. What you choosing? You out on a date. What you gonna get? You gonna get white or you gonna eat the brown? You can put your options in there. You can put your answer in there. You can put your answer in there in the chat. Are you choosing brown? Are you choosing white?
Brown.
Brown. Sean said she's choosing brown. Miss Terry, what you choosing? Brown or white? Or brown or Jasmine?
Brown,
Brown. Why are we choosing brown?
because I'm getting some fiber.
Getting some fiber. Okay.
And it's not that much difference with the carbs, 39 and 36. That's
Okay.
a wash to me.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
My next question is this. Now,
Uh-oh.
if you're making it at home, how much you gonna eat of that 1 cup?
Probably just a 1/4,
Why 4?
because I don't eat a lot of rice.
Okay. Personal. Anybody else?
A 1/4 to a 1/2.
Why are we going up to a 1/2, Miss Terry?
Well, I might have a second helping.
Okay. I might spin the block for round 2. I don't know yet. I can't. That's fair. So let me tell you, if y'all are, you're right. Honestly, in my personal opinion, it's a toss up. It depends on the person. It really depends on the person. You're pulling nothing but carbohydrates from your rice. Are carbs good or are carbs bad? That is my question. Are carbs good or are carbs bad? Drop your answer or come off mute. Are carbs good or are carbs bad?
There's some good carbs.
Okay. Carbs can be good. There's some good carbs. Okay. Yes. The answer is, yeah, carbs are actually good. Carbs are really good. We need carbs. We absolutely need carbs. I don't know if y'all noticed, but in everything, there are some carbohydrates. Now, going back into, and depends on how much you consume, absolutely, both good and bad carbs, yes. So white and brown rice or rice tends to fall on that refined list, but sometimes you can find them on the complex list because again, who made rice? Is it a natural item? Does it come from the earth? Does it naturally come, or does somebody actually process it and make it into what we know to be rice? It's a natural item. Like no one had to, sit there and make individual little things, Rice is natural. Rice has been around for centuries and centuries and centuries. Same thing with quinoa. I don't have anything to compare quinoa, but that was a good point, Jada. Same thing about that. It is a natural item, but you just have to understand how to treat them. So in the case you are eating rice, or say you're prepping, you're like, I could really go for a little bit of rice. You need to understand what you're pairing your rice with. You probably want to go more vegetables, more protein, and not as much rice. I think we might have all grown up. You get you a helping of rice that's on your little plate. You got your little meat or your gravy on top, and you got your little cup of side of vegetables right there on the side to go with. Right or wrong? I already know I'm right. So let me tell you, switch it up. Switch it up. Where you would normally have that little, think about that little styrofoam plate that you get at the cookouts and stuff. Y'all know the little cookout plates, and they got the little compartment. Yes. Think about it. You don't want that rice to go in the major part. You want that rice to be in that small part. And you don't want it spilling over the rim. You don't need all that. So in the case you're ever going to consume rice, you can have it. You just want to watch your serving size. And some of y'all might be like, well, it ain't even really worth it if that's all I can have. No, it can be, because rice doesn't have to always be a bad thing. So for my cardio people, if you are a cardio person, you absolutely love cardio. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You do need carbohydrates in your diet. Agree with me. You do need those carbohydrates in your diet. And you have to make sure that you have a sufficient amount of carbohydrates so that your body uses it for the energy that you need while you're doing that cardio regimen. And you want to make sure that you don't have too much so that your body has to work through processing it and spilling over. Okay. So whenever it comes to rice, you worry about your numbers on your MyFitnessPal. 1, 2, watch your serving size. Now, when I do it, I go for the full serving size because I know that I need it. I also know how I'm pairing my foods too. If you're somebody who's really trying to watch your figure, not trying to go overboard a little bit, I would stay below a cup, below a serving of that rice. Even if you have to fourth it out, say you have a body type that truly attracts just carbs and spillage. And you've been tripping these past couple of days, having a little something here, having a little tater there, having a little this over there. You might want to even forego it altogether. But rice does not have to be bad. It's when we have too much of it, and too frequent is whenever it works against us. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? Rice does not have to be bad. It's just how much we're consuming it. So if you happen to have it, you haven't had rice in a while, say, you know what, I'm gonna have me some rice. I got a big carbohydrate day. A big cardio regimen coming on. You can have you a little rice. Just don't abuse it. You can have rice. Just don't abuse it. But if you're gonna abuse it, don't even, just forego it. Pasta lovers. Anybody love pasta? Let me put me for myself because I love pasta. Me. Anybody else besides me? Because I don't even have to go here. Oh, Taz. Same thing with pasta. Same thing with pasta, you guys. Be careful. It's 200 calories. Well, I just got some basic little thin spaghetti, okay? And that's another thing that I switched from doing the regular to thin spaghetti if I do want to make spaghetti at home. And I only make spaghetti probably once every other month. So I'm gonna have it and I'm gonna eat it and I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm not gonna abuse it either. So it's 200, 2 ounces is a serving size. 2 ounces of spaghetti is a serving size. Be very careful if you're a more shapely woman. You want to watch out for your rice. You want to watch out for your pastas. But again, it does not mean that you cannot have it. You just have to understand how much you can have for you. You do not want to eat to excess or in excess of these items here. Again, going back into those ingredients. Now, somebody had to make this. It's a little bit different between rice and pasta because somebody had to actually process this. So this is truly a refined carbohydrate in its truest form. It is a refined carbohydrate. You treat this like you treat a hamburger bun. You treat this like you treat cake. You treat pasta like you treat what is it? Candy, sugary stuff, sodas, jellies, crazy condiments. You treat pasta the same way because guess what? It is not a natural item. All right. Total fat 1, doesn't have any other fats, so they say. Sodium, none. 41 grams of carbohydrates. Protein, 7. Of those carbohydrates, 2 grams of dietary fiber. Again, you're not really pulling any substance from this. Usually when I have my athletes and I'm giving them their nutrition consult, I always say, hey, you guys, if you're doing this because they actually need the burst of carbs, they have to. I do recommend carbohydrates from them. So if you're raising any athletes, pre-game meals, pastas are good. If you're not trying to train for any type of game or anything like that, you got to treat this like you would treat that hamburger bun from Cookout. You do, okay? Shamika threw in the chat, zucchini noodles, spaghetti squash, shiitake mushroom noodles, zero pasta. Those are some other alternatives for pasta. I would definitely go with just making yours own at home. Get you a little zoodle, little $9.99 zoodler off of Amazon. Zoodle that puppy right on up and make your own pasta. And even the same way we were talking about cauliflower rice, cauliflower is still a complex carb. So you are still going to pull those carbohydrates up there from them, which is not a bad thing. But then again, you kind of get a little bit more to play with because it's not as high in regards to this glycemic index as your brown or your jasmine or white rice, okay? So just watch out for these carbs, know how to treat them, know when to eat them, know how to use them. The final 2 things that I'm gonna address, and I'm definitely gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna open up the floor for questions, and I'm gonna make it very, very quick so we can get through to it. Oatmeal, all my oatmeal people out here, if you're making them or if you're purchasing the little, the steel cut oats or the Quaker, just know what you're looking for. Be very careful. They're relatively close in the calories. The serving size is a pouch or a packet. You're pulling 130 from your steel cut and you're pulling 140 from, are these roll? This is regular. Okay, whole grain oats. Let's see. The total fats looking relatively the same, 2.5, 2 to 2.5. Sodium in this is 170, sodium in this one is 120. Carbs, 29 grams, 26 grams. Dietary fiber, the same, 3. Soluble fiber, 1, the same. Insoluble fiber, 2 grams over here, none for over here. Total sugars, 8. Same thing over here. And then protein, 3 to 4 grams. So they're relatively the same. If you would have got just the plain regular ones, that sugar would have looked different. just be careful whenever you're consuming your oatmeal and whatnot. Again, if you're someone who does this like on a every week basis, I would break it up every week, switch it up, give yourself something different. Okay. But oatmeal, it's okay if you have to purchase the little package kind. But with those, because they're already flavored, you don't need to throw nothing else in there. Let it have its own stage by itself. If you're gonna throw something else in there, half the serving size, move on with your life. Okay. Last and final thing, anybody like tuna? Any tuna eaters in here? Tuna eaters in here? Because I like to make a little tuna salad where I can dip my little something into it, my vegetables, and I eat it. Talea said loves tuna. So I make my little tuna salad. I get the little Veganese mayo and I make tuna salad with that because it doesn't have the egg in it. I season it up. I don't even really use the sea salt anymore. Black pepper, a little garlic, little onion powder, whoop, whoop, move on with my life, a little bit of the relish and keep it moving. I can dip my stuff in it and have a great day. But again, watch out for those flavored ones. This is another good alternative to have as a grab and go snack because it's very easily to prepare or pair with something else. So, those numbers are 90 in the flavored one, 70 in the not flavored one. Fats look the same at 0.5 grams. Nothing else is alarming there. Cholesterol, 35 grams on both. Sodium, 360 on the flavor, 300 on the non-flavored kind. Total carbohydrates, 4 grams over here on the flavored, none in the regular kind. Protein, 17 grams, protein, 16 grams. Between the two, the non-flavored probably is the best one to go for. And on top of that, you're getting that protein. So when we talk about those snacks and upping that, this is probably one of those that you're going to get more of that protein intake from, simply because it is an animal-based protein. It's tuna. So you're going to pull that protein from there. But y'all, I just want y'all to get my whole point, my whole point in today was making sure that you get comfortable. You know what you're looking for whenever you do pull those snacks and you do shop. We all live lives. These snacks can either help us, they can either make us or they can break us. So just learn how to have a good balance with the snacks that you do eat. I don't want you to feel like you have to be in a bubble or a box. I want you to learn what works best for you. And y'all know my schedule is always open to do a nutrition check-in if you need it. And we'll talk about it. We'll make it make sense for you and your lifestyle. The floor is open for questions. Trania, I'm gonna start with you. Sometimes, however, it's not on the blood type list because right now you're doing blood type eating. And so, yeah, in our nutrition check-in, we can go more in depth with your blood type eating.
Yeah, tuna used to be my favorite, but it's on my list of things not to eat on the blood type list. So I kind of been staying away from it because of that.
And that makes sense. You know, if there's something that is just like, that's not for me at this very moment, refrain from it. You know, all of these items up here was not for everybody. It was not for everybody, but one or some of these items probably was relatable at this point in time. You can relate to it. Rosalind said, do I suggest blood type eating? If so, where do we go to view a list? So yes, Rosalind, just to let you know, in my programs, whenever we are detoxing, I do suggest blood type eating. On Reset Sunday, I don't believe we've covered blood type, but for those who have been with me for years, y'all know how I feel about blood type eating. Yeah, I know exactly how I feel about resetting your body whenever you are starting over or you plan to detox. I do give these lists to everyone out. I do, give them to them, but people have books. There are plenty of lists online that you can look. I would definitely confirm what your blood type is, but you do have to watch out for some of these lists. Some of these lists are not the list in which you should go off of. Again, with blood type eating, if you have any other type of like health deficiencies and stuff, just be careful on the items that you do suggest. I mean, the items that are suggested up there, because what blood type eating does not cover are the items that, or not the items, but the pre-existing conditions that you already have. It does not cover that. So blood type eating is for, it's just a clean slate. If you're someone who doesn't have really a lot of issues or whatever, whatnot, and Chandra's showing up right there, yep, too, by Peter, what's his name, Diamo or something like that. That is who I would go for. But even before you go right into blood type eating, know what type of conditions that you have. Because again, there might be something in there on one of those lists. And this is something that I just found. Something on the list might actually spike other issues that you do have, even though it is suggested for your blood type, if that makes any sense. And I have found that with quite a few of my clients before in the past. So there's some things that we've had to work around, but I would say over 90% of the time, it's definitely a good option. Yes, and you can always email me, not a problem. I'll go ahead and drop my email in the chat so you can take that down and send me an email. And okay. Trania said, thanks, Chandra. She saw the book in Barnes and Nobles. Any other questions? Any other questions about how to reset your week, what to look for in the foods that you're eating, how to get your plan together for this week? While y'all think about that, I would just say, take a look at your week. If you have a very, very, very busy week this week, meal prep your stuff ahead of time as much as possible. That is the best advice I could give you. Also, check your nutrition calendar. Check your nutrition calendar. I think we're getting into our final week of February 2021. So let's finish out the week with a bang. Y'all have my phone number. Y'all know how to reach me. Let's make this week something memorable. And of course, we have next Sunday, our final reset Sunday of the month, taking us into, yep, that's the 28th. It's the last day of the month. So let's bring back a good report. Who trying to drop at least a pound by next week? Who trying to drop a pound? Who trying to drop a pound? A pound. Okay. At least one. Okay, cool. A pound of body fat though. A pound of body fat. Let me be very clear as to what I'm saying. A pound of body fat. Because I don't want y'all to come back with your little muscles just hanging. No, we want to drop a pound of body fat. Okay. This is what I want you to do. If you're trying to drop a pound of body fat, I need you on your water. Follow your schedule to the T. Okay. Each of those days. Get your rest. Please get your rest. Your protein intake. If you're still not hitting that protein, even go ahead and hop on that scale. And if you have one of the scales, one of the BIA scales, and check where your protein is. If that protein is still down, you're still not inching up closer to the protein normalcy list, then you're still not getting enough protein that you need. And we need to talk about getting more protein in your diet. I do want y'all to track this week. If you can track this week, track out as much as possible, especially if you're already meal prepping. Go ahead and track out as much as possible this week so you know what you have in your diet and what you're missing out on. Okay. But we're going for a pound of body fat down by next Sunday. Period. Everybody do what? Period, Pooh. Period. That's what we're doing. Pound of body fat down by next Sunday. I know y'all can do it. Drink your water. Yes, period, Pooh. Yes. Get your water. Eat your protein. Watch those carbs and those processed items, those little snackies. Watch them for my busy people, my very, very busy people. Use the bathroom, Jada, at the place. Use the bathroom. It's all right. And we're going to accomplish some goals. Any questions for me before I let y'all go? All right. Well,
wait a minute. I have one. I'm sorry. I just can never find these buttons on time. Okay. Water. First, let me say, I've been drinking it, but I could do better. So what I did was, because I was talking to my doctor, he said, put some flavor in it. Not too much sugar, but flavor. So I went and bought this sparkling ice water. Now I've seen that on my list too. That sparkling water is good for me. But I wanted to know if this kind is okay. It has vitamin and antioxidants in it, and it has no sugar, period. But it's the flavor. I know you've seen it in the store. It's called sparkling ice and some time. But it doesn't. I looked on the back like you told me on the ingredients, and it didn't have any of those. It didn't have any sugars. It didn't have Actually, everything is zero down, all the way down, except for the vitamins. It's 15% vitamin A all the way through D, and it's got 15% B12 too. So I was asking, long story short, is this water okay? Or should it just be pure water? Just regular water.
I'm always gonna lean on the side, let it be pure, regular water. And if you want to infuse your own water, fine. I do understand that sometimes you want to switch it up and you do want to get a little fizz, a little taste, a little something, whatever. I would naturally gravitate towards those sparkling waters and stuff, especially sparkling ice. There was a scenario that happened a couple of years ago where I can't remember the details of the sparkling ice water, but they got in some trouble. I might need to Google it just so I can kind of refresh myself. But something happened, and this is when before I started training and working in nutrition heavily, I worked in corporate America for a convenience store company. And I had to pretty much build out planograms, work with these different vendors, contractors, all the other stuff. So I would work with them on a one-on-one basis. And again, this is before I got into nutrition. So there was one time where they actually had to be, because something happened. They did something with like marketing, and they were trying to promote something about it that wasn't necessarily true about it. They didn't necessarily have all of their ingredients listed, if I'm not mistaken. So what we had to do, because they lost money on some other sides, we had to end up pulling a lot of stuff from our stores because of that. They like breached something and they got into a lot of trouble about it. And they're a Coca-Cola company. So it wasn't just sparkling ice itself, but it was through Coca-Cola, because it is a Coke product. So I would just say, because it was something in that ingredients list, and I can't remember what it was, they just weren't forthcoming with all of their stuff. And I feel that way about these sparkling waters. How they that color? How y'all get it that color then? You know, if it ain't something else. You know, who changed the color if this is all, you know, natural? How come y'all ain't got no sugar in there, but it got a little sweet taste? What y'all mean you ain't got no sugar in there? So I would just kind of like side eye stuff like that. But then again, I would treat it like I told y'all to treat this pasta every blue moon. You know, maybe if you want to get you a sparkling, fine, but it wouldn't be my day to day.
Okay, Reagan, the fun snatcher. No more ice.
I got the snatch.
Regular water. Okay. I tried, y'all. I tried.
You can infuse your own water though with fresh fruit. You could do it that way.
There you go.
That must be my Shamika, boy. She always comes to the rescue.
No, that was Terry.
Oh, hi, Terry. Whoever. I just appreciate everybody that comes to the rescue in these moments, because sometimes, you know, it's hard. Sometimes you want to.
Yeah, I understand.
Get your
I like
little ice
myself.
water. Yeah.
No, I relate to you. I like it. I like the ice. I drink it every now and then. But yeah, like I will infuse my own water with some kind of fresh fruit, like maybe blueberries or strawberries. Like I loved in the summertime, I would put watermelon in my water.
Okay.
Okay. Melon and mint.
Okay.
Watermelon and mint water, that's a whole other vibe right there. Ooh. Another thing I would say for you, Trania, is because I actually ran into this last week with trying to preparing for the photo shoot. I was like, I need a little something, I need a little something, I need a little taste on my tongue, I need a little something. And so I actually had some pineapple, and you know, like the acidity levels with the pineapple, granted it wasn't a fizz, but it gave me that kick that I needed. So I just had like 4 or 5 chunks of pineapple, and it satisfied that sweet taste that I was looking for. So maybe grab you a pineapple, some sliced pineapple, or some already chopped up pineapple, not in the can.
I sliced some up the other day. Matter of fact, I bought a fresh one and made it, sliced it.
There you go.
For that very reason, because I'm a can girl, you know. And I did that. I was proud. I did that.
I'm proud of you. But yeah, any other questions, y'all? All right. I know we ran a little long today. I was a little long-winded, but hopefully y'all pulled something from it. Y'all know how to reach me in the meantime, between times. Ladies, y'all be blessed. And I'll see y'all for BU Flex in the morning if you're going to be there. If not, then I'll see you the next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.